How's it going, guys? Right, so as the title alludes to, this is a spoilers review of Masters of the Universe Revelation. I had to do it as a spoilers one because, let's be honest, I can't really discuss what I think of it without really doing that. So now I've sort of eased off doing reviews of things, if I'm honest, because you always, if you're going to say something bad about something, quite often people don't like that, and quite often you get a lot of backlash from it. So I've sort of stayed away from it because Hollywood these days is pretty toxic, isn't it? Let's be honest. It's funny, really. They say the fans are toxic, but Hollywood that's toxic, really, isn't it? And I would say this show's no exception. There are a lot of people like myself that didn't like this show, but then there's also a lot of people who do. And to be fair, everyone's entitled to their opinions. If you liked it, then good for you. But if you didn't, then you didn't. And you shouldn't really be judged on what you like and what you dislike. But like I've just alluded to, I do dislike this show. Right, okay. So before we get into that, let's point out what I did like. And there's probably really only one thing I did like about it, maybe two, probably two really. So first of all, first thing I'm going to say, the animation looks fantastic. It's very good. It's kind of like a bit of a throwback, but also got that sort of modern look as well. So they carefully thought about what the animation looked like before and applied it to the new version. So that was good. You can't fault them on that. It did look really good to look at. Then you got the fact that they also brought in a lot of the old characters, and not just the ones that are at the forefront, but some of the others that you didn't see much of, which was nice as well. So there's a good collection of, like for example, you got Fisto and several others that crop up, and then also you've got vehicles as well that were only maybe seen in one episode, which come back into it, and it's good in that point of view. When the first episode starts, I was watching it for the first, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe, thinking, okay, this don't look bad. They're doing everything right at the moment. And then, unfortunately, it all goes downhill from there. And yeah, I'll be honest, I actually did consider turning it off halfway through, but then I thought, no, let's watch this car crash till the end. So basically, it becomes the Teela show. It's a show that's always been He-Man eccentric. He's the main character, but it's now the Teela show. I don't understand what they were doing with this. If that was your plan, why didn't you just redo or do a follow-on for She-Ra? Why have you got to take a male character eccentric show and change it now to a female centric character show? Like, I just don't understand it. If this was your plan, why didn't you just do She-Ra? So what do I mean by this? Right, okay, so basically what happens is, in the first episode, they kill He-Man. Basically, Castle Grayskull comes under attack. Skeletor's trying to get basically all the magic from Eternia. And the only way He-Man can stop him is to sacrifice himself. So, like I was saying, He-Man sacrifices himself to stop Skeletor. And basically, just to save everybody. So, right from the first episode, He-Man's gone. And then, of course, because of that, Teela now finds out that He-Man is Adam. And she has a little hissy fit and decides that she's not going to be anything to do with the royal family. She's not going to be the new man-at-arms. So she chucks her little crown thing down on the floor and she storms out. And then basically it picks up later on the next episode that she's now a mercenary. And as the story goes on, basically she gets convinced that she needs to go to basically hell and heaven to reclaim the 2 parts of the sword which makes the power sword, so He-Man's sword. And in order to do that, she has to go to these 2 places, and then once it's reforged, all the magic comes back to Eternia. Otherwise, all the magic's gone. So, and basically you get a few bad guys come into it, you know, like Evil Lyn, Beastman, etc. And they're basically helping. And after they've got the half from hell, they then go to heaven. And Adam basically decides he's going to come back with them. So Adam comes back, and then they kill him again. So what's the point? You know, like, you know, if it's not bad enough you rubbed it in our faces that you killed He-Man the first time, you're now going to do it again? Like, seriously, I don't normally swear on this channel, but what the fuck? Like, seriously, what was you thinking? I mean, who's this for? Like, the only people who are going to be really watching this show are people that were fans of the original Masters of the Universe. So, who's this show for? Because you've just alienated all your fans. And what makes it worse is that Kevin Smith had been going on for months saying, oh, don't worry, He-Man's not getting sidelined. It's going to be, you know, like the old show. It's going to be very nostalgic and all this rubbish. And of course, he was lying, wasn't he? He was lying through his teeth. And I don't know why we're surprised. I mean, it's Kevin Smith. He's a shill. I mean, he was shilling for Disney hard, wasn't he, about the new Star Wars film. So to be quite honest with you, he's lost all credibility as far as I'm concerned anyway. But he definitely has now. I mean, that's just cemented it. I don't know what he was thinking. For a Netflix animation, he's just killed his credibility. So I just don't get it. Like, why? Like, if you were going to do a female-centric show, you should have just done She-Ra. Like, why have you got to ruin everything that us guys all liked? You know, like, this is what Hollywood's doing now, isn't it? You know, like, Star Wars, right, let's get that and trash that, so that all the fans who did like it now no longer do and don't want to watch it. And then we'll call them all toxic. And now we're seeing the same with Masters of the Universe. Same difference. You know, they've killed it for everyone, and now we're all complaining about it. They're coming out saying, oh, toxic fans and all that stuff, because this is what it is, and it's always the fans' fault. It's not the people who actually did it, it's the fans, isn't it? At the end of the day, we're all telling you what we think of what you did. You ruined a show that we all enjoyed. Simple. And other things I want to point out as well, there's a lot of underlining tones going on in this as well. Like, for example, why is it that Adam, when he's Adam, is now skinny, really scrawny looking? I mean, I don't remember him looking like that in the originals. And that's one of the first things I noticed when it started, but I kind of put it aside because I thought, well, maybe they're just going for a different idea. You know, that he gets much bigger when he's He-Man. But then you saw Teela, and it's like, right, okay, so what's going on here? Why is it that the female characters are now bigger than the men? Like, I mean, Teela looks ridiculous. Like, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, training in gyms, I have seen women that are muscular. You know, it's not an unusual thing. But with this, it's unusual because you're now trying to make the women look better and bigger than the men. Like, why are you doing that? And of course, it all becomes clear, don't it? Because what they do throughout the show then on is they just belittle all the male characters, and the female characters are all great. And of course, this isn't new to us. We've seen this in a lot of stuff recently. It's all this agenda crap that's going on with things now. You know, whatever happens to just being able to watch a show for escapism and enjoy it? You know, like, you can't do that now. It's got to be all this political crap thrown in there, you know? And that's not what you watch these programs for, is it? You watch them to escape the real world and enjoy yourself. But what happens, you watch this and you're reminded that the real world is a pretty crappy place, and so's the program you're now watching. So, you know, I'll be honest, I'm not going to, if they do another part, I'm not watching it. I don't want to watch it. I have no interest. I will stick to the originals, which I do own. You know, you've just ruined what was a good show, you know. And why? Why? What was you achieving out of this? You know, I don't get it. Like, why are you alienating the people that wanted this show? I don't understand what's going on. Like, you know, it's like Hollywood and all these streaming services are just out to kill their products. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. I mean, if you want to make money, should you not be doing stuff that your fans actually like and enjoy and want to watch? Who's going to want to watch this now? Unless you've captured some new fans, which, don't get me wrong, they might well have done. You might have drawn in a lot more females to watch the show now. So, you know, if that's what your goal was, then well done. But like I say, you should have done it with She-Ra, really. But otherwise, you've just lost all your original fans, all the people who enjoyed this for what it was, the people who this show was for. What was your plan? Like, you know, no one's going to watch this now, are they? Like, I don't understand it. But like I say, you know, and I'm just going to end on this final note, really. I've had my little rant, because I'll be honest with you, I sort of thought about doing a review, and then I thought, nah, maybe not, because this show angers me a bit. And then I thought, you know what, no, I'm going to do it. So the reason it angers me is, like I've already stated, you know, like this rubbish where you've got to keep belittling male characters to push a female agenda, you know. You don't need to do that. Like, there are several female characters, and don't get me wrong, there should be more. You don't have to belittle the men to actually make a good female character. You just need to do some good writing, guys, you know. Like, for example, Ellen Ripley in the Alien, you know, series of films. Like, Ellen Ripley is a brilliant character. Why is that? Not because they belittled men. She's a good character because she was well written and acted by a very good actor. And then you've got Sarah Connor. You know, again, well-written character. A strong female character. Well-written. Didn't have to belittle the men. Good character that we all enjoy. You know, and you know, Princess Leia, for example. You know, they didn't have to belittle the male characters. They just made a strong female that was compelling, well-written, that everybody enjoyed. You know, so you don't need to do this. You don't have to wreck characters, male characters, to make the female characters better, unless you're just a terrible writer, and that's obviously what we're getting these days. So, anyway, in closing, last thing I want to say is, Kevin Smith, you're a bellend, and you've just destroyed your credibility. You'll be lucky if anyone ever listens to you again, and to be quite honest with you, I preferred you back in the days when you was silent. Right, so all there is left to say there is take care, stay safe, Nerdy Geezer out.